At least 901 men, women and children died in boat accidents nationwide between January 2020 and September 2023. According to reports, the period under review saw over 61 boat mishaps. One of such incidents occurred in October 2022 in Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State, when a boat reportedly carrying about 85 passengers capsized. 76 persons were said to have drowned. Reports said the victims were primarily women and children fleeing to safety after floods overran their community. In May 2021, only 20 people were rescued and more than 150 went missing when a boat transporting passengers to the market broke apart between Kebbi and Niger states. 15 children drowned and 25 others were missing when a boat capsized in a river in Sokoto State, northwest of Nigeria in May 2023. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has ordered investigation into the cause of boat accidents in Niger and Adamawa states. Joining us on the news is Benson, who is the Director, Disaster Management at Nigeria Red Cross Society, and he will be talking to us about this. Thank you so much, Benson, for joining us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Good morning.
Of course, we know that human life is sacred, but then in the last 3 or 4 years, we've been inundated with reports of boat accidents on Nigeria's waterways. So what are the primary factors contributing to the recent increase in boat mishaps in Nigeria? And for the organization you represent, the Red Cross, what collaborative efforts with relevant authorities are being put in place to address these issues?
Yeah, thank you so much. We in the Nigeria Red Cross have been working with other stakeholders to see how we can reduce the mortality from boat mishap in Nigeria. Our branches in Lagos, Ondo, Niger, River, Taraba, Benue, Kwara, Kebbi, Bauchi, Sokoto, Adamawa, Nasarawa, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Anambra, and others have been working with the National Emergency Management Agency, the State Emergency Management Agency, and other stakeholders to rescue people who are involved in boat mishap. We have been able to rescue a number of them. And we are constantly on the watch out. We have our squad, the emergency first aid teams located in all the 37 branches, that is 36 states and Abuja. And we have recently equipped them with life jackets. As I speak, another rounds of distribution of life jackets and personal protective equipment are ongoing to our various branches.
But then, Benson, I also would want to understand the factors responsible for those boat accidents, because it's not enough to provide measures and provide equipment and safety tools to save lives. But then what is important is how to ensure that these things do not occur. So why is it that we have this issue of boat mishaps and lives being lost?
A lot of issues, and I'm sure the relevant government agencies are working on them. For us in the Red Cross, what we do is actually to look at how we can help the situation in our own way. We want to say that there are things that are paramount when you run boats, especially those who do it on a commercial basis. One, we feel all passengers must wear life jackets, and they should wear this properly. Where possible, personal flotation devices and throwable flotation devices should be available on board. Just like I was telling you that we are securing this for volunteers who work during this flood. These boats should be seaworthy. I mean, they should be worthy of being put on the water. And if the regulatory agency do their work, then we have people who are driving these boats who should not be drunk, who should not be on drugs, and people who are passengers should also dress lightly. Don't have to use heavy clothing or heavy jewelry when you are going on board. Boats should have fire extinguishers. They should be available on the boats actually. And basic equipment like first aid kits, anchors, bailing devices like rubber buckets and so on should always be on the boat in case of emergency. Like we said, boats should not be overloaded. There are different sizes, different horsepowers of boats. And those who are operating these boats should be able to know how many passengers should be on such boats so that we can minimize these incidents in Nigeria. And people should ensure that everyone, be you the driver or the passenger on the boat, should strictly adhere to safety instructions. And the boat should need to be properly trained. These people who operate the boat need to be properly trained. The Nigerian Red Cross offers first aid training for different categories of workers and volunteers in the Red Cross. And if these boats are worthy, then they should be able to withstand the storms and turbulence of the water. For us in the Nigeria Red Cross, we advise strongly that night travels on boats should be banned, and regular boat safety awareness instruction guide before departure for every trip of the boat should be compulsory. And there should be routine checks of boats by government agencies, those who are responsible for boat safety. They must ensure that not to cut corners and to know the implication of an accident. Because when there's an accident, it makes them liable and they will face prosecution if they are the person who did the last check on that boat. And all assistant boat drivers also should be trained, like I said, in first aid and other areas.
Oh, Benson, so let's talk about the case of emergencies that you have actually stressed. Now, in an event of a boat mishap, what should be the response of communities that are actually cut off from communication, but then, of course, they do not or may not have the requisite skills when it comes to emergency situations like this, but then the first human instinct would mean that you would want to dive into the waters to see how many people you can rescue. So when we have situations like this, they do not have the gears or the communication to reach out to those who are experts when it comes to rescuing people. What do you think these communities can do in such constraints?
They should get specific people trained in the act of diving. Courses are run by different agencies, including the Red Cross, on waterborne operations. So these communities should go out of their way and get specific people trained so that when situations like this arise, they will be able not only to swim, but to swim, survive, and help others.
Before I let you go, Benson, does the Red Cross conduct maybe periodic awareness, promoting safety measures among boat operators and passengers to actually reduce the risk of such incidents occurring in the first place?
Yes, we do on a general basis. We train people on first aid, and based on request, our units in the various local government, which we call the divisions, or at branch level, at state level, which we call the branch, will be available to give first aid courses and other courses related to waterborne operations to those who ask for them. We also do on a commercial basis. Our business unit is working with mostly the oil servicing company, but we can also partner with associations of boat drivers, just like we do for National Union of Road Transport Workers.
I hope that even as these measures have been put in place, it will help to mitigate or reduce the number of boat mishaps and lives being lost. Thank you so much, Benson Agbro, for talking to us.
Thank you very much.